Well, we're in for a special treat tonight. Do you remember that we had a lunar eclipse very close to a solar eclipse?
Mm-hmm.
And of course, a lot of folks were mentioning that their lives were getting a little strange at that time. It seemed like a lot of people were passing back then, and it seemed like a lot of people were getting sick, or a lot of strange things were going on. And these were very, very powerful energies that were coming in that were really bringing in great transformation and a great change. I received something called the 210.42 Lunar Activation Eclipse of the Center Sun. And what these activations do is they actually eclipse. These are actually lunar rates that eclipse the solar rates, and these are actual hertz of the lunar rate, which is the 210.42, and then you've got the solar rate, which is the 122.20, I think it's 126.22. So what happens is, I was able to bring in an activation where we could precipitate a great change in our DNA that helped mainly with the sacral chakras and the male and female energies, and where the divine masculine and the divine feminine were able to be combined into one. Now, if anyone is familiar with my 8 activations, maybe we have some new ones in here, let me explain exactly how they work. When I was working with abductees and working with some people that were having unusual problems where it seems like we were able to do a lot of healings for them, but they kept reverting back into a lot of control patterns and having a very hard time, I was given something that was able to help them get out of that programming. And what I was shown is there was an access to illusion within our DNA that was probably created maybe when the more malevolent outworlders were first working on us and creating us, that an access point was created, ethereal, within our DNA that caused us to accept the illusion as our reality. Now, in the gematria and numbers, God equals number 1. God, in order to understand God, and God in order to come back into God, to experience God, must be number 1. It's the ultimate mutable number. God is everywhere. God is everything. God is all pure love. God is fluid. It moves. It flows. It's number 1. We often hear about 0 point energy being God, because it is actually only potential waiting to become experienced, because in that 0 point, what you have is all things sitting there waiting to come into creation. So we have to have a way to bring it into containment in order to live our lives. So we bring it into God's source, because we're all connected to God's source. We're all part of the number 1. So if you were to take a mirror and look inside a mirror, you would get all these different timelines and all this infinity, but try combing your hair in that, or maybe putting on your eyeliner, or shaving when you have these mirrors inside the mirrors. We have to bring it into one image in order to live our lives. So we bring our experiences into what we call containment. But what happens when you have something that is repeating over and over again and gaining in consciousness that's even in our DNA? And what's happening is that with our ancestors within our own DNA, we're often reliving all the patterns our ancestors lived before, and we keep repeating them, and we give it more consciousness, and this is where the illusion becomes a problem in our everyday lives. So what we want is divine manifestation, and the number 8 is what you call divine manifestation. So if you note that the number 9 is the ultimate gematria number, the 9 goes back into number 1s. We have often looked at this. 9 plus 9 is 18, 1 plus 8 equals 9, plus 9 equals 27, 2 plus 7 equals 9, and it all goes back into the number 1s. So here's just the concept with the soul mapping that I will help you understand. We're all number 1s. We're all a product of number 1s. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1 is our soul mapping. And if you divide 1 by 9, you get 0.11111. And then if you divide it by 9 again, you get 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9. The 8 is missing. And when I got these activations, that was the first thing I heard. the 8's missing. And of course, I had no idea what they were talking about till they got me on my calculator. So what happens was a false connection got put between that 7 and that 9, and it keeps going on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 0, 1, 2, 3, and it just keeps going on. And a false connection was put between that 7 and the 9. It was almost like a faux vibration that allowed us to accept everything within our soul mapping that was a holographic body, even if it was a bunch of false information. We took it as a reality. And this is how we got a lot of religions that got narcissistic gods who have favorites, where we have these wars over religions. This is where this kind of illusion pertains. The blood carries the DNA. The blood is amazing, and DNA is language. So if we change the language, we also change our resonation to what we receive, what we attract, and what happens to us. And all of us know people that keep getting the same patterns over and over and over again in their lives, and they go to healer and psychic to psychic, and try to stop these patterns, but they just keep happening. Well, it's like a shadow. If you have an object in the light, it creates a shadow. And darkness only lives by permission of the light, because darkness contracts, it can't sustain itself. But a shadow can carry a lot of consciousness, and it can get darker and darker and become very, very powerful until you take that object out of the light. And when you take that object out of the light, what you have is what you call neutralization. It's like it never existed in the first place. Now, wouldn't it be nice to take all our stories and all our patterns and all these things that don't work for us and neutralize them as though they never existed in the first place? So what we find is we're living our stories and our ancestors' stories and bench consciousness stories. And I think if you notice, even in our last elections, some of the behavior that was coming out, this is a very good example of this kind of connecting of consciousness that could cause a certain type of mass behavior. So what these 8 activations do is they take out the illusion and bring a divine manifestation. And what divine manifestation is, our ability to use free will to create every day for ourselves and not being connected back into our old patterns. So the number 8 comes in only through a mutable of 8, 9, and 6. And there's only one number that will do that. That is the divine 72. The divine 72 is a mutable of 8, 9, and 6. 6 times 12 equals 72. 9 times 8 equals 72. 72 divided by 9 equals 8. And if you divide 8 by 72, you get 0.111111, and it synchronizes up with the soul mapping. The 8 takes its rightful place. The illusion is kicked out, and the divine manifestation comes in. And the main thing that is very important, you realize with the number 8, it's an infinity number in itself. It is a creation number. And so through the process of really quantum physics, we're able to change our DNA. And this is what these activations are about. So you'll hear me go into the divine 72, getting back into the number 1s. And everything has a longitude and latitude of frequency. So what we have for the lunar activation today is the 210.42, because that is the actual hertz of the moon. So I actually did these at the Star Knowledge Conference in Denver, Colorado, actually Golden, Colorado, in February 2017. And I am here to do them again for you tonight. And what is very interesting about these energies, or what they were able to bring in for me, is we have real actual hertzes, information of wavelengths brought in by different hertzes that will cause different changes in our sacral centers. And they're all quantum physics mixed with the formulas of the 8 activations and the divine 72. And I will also warn you that these are eye color changers. When your DNA changes, your eye colors do change. I know that many brown-eyed folks got blue rims on their eyes. I've turned people from green-eyed to blue-eyed. Some people have 4 colors on their eyes. A lot of people get the blue rims around their eyes. So don't be surprised if you look a little different when we're done. Okay. We also are going to bring it in a 7-star formation, like an eclipse. So it'd be like the lunar energies are crossing the solar center sun. just like an eclipse. And this is what's so powerful about it. I will admit that when I did this at the Star Knowledge Conference, the sun kind of lowered and shone right inside the door. And I was fascinated because it was so bright. And then when I looked down, all I could see was like blue spots. Like, okay. But it was pretty cool to kind of see that kind of confirmation that came in. So, are we ready to be mooned? All right. Get prepared to receive. There we go. 210.42 Lunar Activation Eclipse, the center sun. 210.42, 192, 303, 417, 288. 396, 741, 228. 126.22, WZX 10334. Activate second chakra or sacral chakra, which is located in the area of your navel, lower abdomen, lower back and sexual organs. Open creativity, sacred sexuality, abundance, balanced relationships, bring empathy, nurturing, pleasure, emotions, movement, and authentic intimacy. 210.42 divided by 10 equals 21.042 D882. Balance the divine masculine. Bring in leadership and integrity. Return logic, rationality, strength, and leaders' honor and honesty. 210.42 divided by 9 equals 23.38 C34319. Balance the divine feminine. Let her be kind, generous, wise, and supportive. Bring in the ultimate mother, fertile in creation, intuitive, patient, nurturing, and healing. Rekindle and support growth, both emotionally and spiritually. 210.42 divided by 8 equals 26.302 E662. Restore Genesis within the divine feminine and the divine masculine within us, and restore control of all our bodies, spiritual, mental, physical, emotional, and ethereal. Bring back the base of creation, the innocence of the children, the wisdom of the adult, the strength to know right from wrong. 210.42 divided by 72 equals 2.9225 F34109. Neutralize infinite number of generations, mother's and father's side, and within mass consciousness now. The original curse affecting the woman, that she will only know pain in bearing children. Neutralize the words affecting the female. You will lose yourself in your desire for your husband. Neutralize now the words in which affect the man, that he must rule over the woman. Neutralize now the words affecting man and woman, that Eve caused the fall of Adam, and therefore women are deceitful. Neutralize now the original curse of affecting the man and woman, that the woman must give up her ascension to the man and strip her own divinity to please him. Neutralize now the original curse affecting the man, that he must take the divinity of the woman for source, or he is devoid of his own. They are a source for each other, bringing the correct spiritual order, desires from the center of the heart, and will seek unconditional love. There is only one source, and that is unconditional love. 1 divided by 9 equals 0.111111111 divided by 9 equals 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9 divided by 72 equals 0.88888888 divided by 9 equals 987654320. Going to 0 point frequency divided by 8 equals 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9 divided by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 equals 0.11111111111. Activate 192 hertz to our voices to speak enlightenment. Bring in the cobalt blue ray of Archangel Michael. Express truth and no truth, and remove that which does not belong to us. Bring in discernment and star language. Bring back the honor of all those who have been robbed of their rightful place and honor. Give back them their language, their homes, their lands, and their culture. 2010, 210.42 minus 0.42 equals 210 plus 192 equals 402. 4 plus 2 equals 6 times 12 equals 72 divided by 9 equals 8 divided by 72 equals 0.11111111. 303 hertz. Transcend all dimensions now with the cosmic Christ consciousness. Neutralize entities, energies, and thought forms and mass hypnotic consciousness. Neutralize mind control through subliminal programming targeting addiction. Bring innocence back in our hearts, purity in our love. Neutralize the consciousness of rape with subjective service of will. Bring back the control of our own physical, emotional, mental, spiritual, and ethereal bodies. Neutralize all forms of abuse to the children, make them accessible to those who seek to take their life force, destroy the illusion, free will is ours to claim. 210.42 minus 0.42 equals 210 plus 513. 5 plus 1 equals 6 plus 3 equals 9 times 8 equals 72 divided by 9 equals 8 divided by 72 equals 0.11111. 11111. 396 hertz. Cleanse fear and remove the blocks which impede our evolution, infinite number of generations, mother and father's side. Neutralize from the earth and Gaia's source of all creation, guilt, negativity, shame, humiliation, powerlessness, and false religions. Bring back to the earth the control of Gaia's physical bodies and soul. Bring back to Gaia the physical and spiritual mind and release endorphins into the core of the earth. Transforms Gaia's grief and give back the source to Gaia to give to the land, seas, sky, and all living things on the planet. 210.42 minus 0.42 equals 210 plus 396 equals 606. 6 plus 6 equals 12 times 6 equals 72 divided by 9 equals 8 divided by 72 equals 0.111111111. 288 hertz. Balance polarity and the dual nature of spirit, bringing it back into balance. Neutralize behavior associated with narcissistic God illusion. An extension of God ego split with martyr consciousness. Bring back awakening of the soul. Harmonize anger and fear and splitting of the emotional bodies. Neutralize acting out behaviors that are the result of being repressed. Inner enlightenment and the recognition of the God I am presence. 210.42 minus 0.42 equals 210 plus 396 equals 606. 6 plus 6 equals 12 times 6 equals 72 divided by 9 equals 8 divided by 72 equals 0.111111111. 228 hertz. Balance the root chakra. Balance grounding, safety in our bodies, on the earth and in our spirit. Bringing in enough food, shelter, monies, and abundance for the earth and ourselves. Integrate the groundwork for our creative journeys. Integrate connection to universal and intergalactic energies. Restore the innocence in our hearts. Restore the boldness and stability in our love. Bring back the mother back to the earth. Let her raise her children, adhere to Genesis, and create the world Gaia wishes to provide. 210.42 minus 0.42 equals 210 plus 228 equals 438. 4 plus 3 plus 8 equals 15. 1 plus 5 equals 6 times 12 equals 72 divided by 9 equals 0.111111111111111. Restore higher bodies, mind and spirit. 417 hertz. Open up our eternal wings and restore connection to God I am. Receive now the love that is eternal and rightly belongs to us. Restore to us our rightful place in the heart of God. There is only one source, and that is the unconditional love. Let nurturing pleasure, emotions, movement, change, warmth, and intimacy facilitate now transformation and access to altered states of consciousness. Give us the interdimensional eyes, ears, touch, scent, and the love, and the voice of the transmission of love. 210.42 minus 0.42 equals 210 plus 417 equals 627. 6 plus 2 equals 8 minus 7 equals 1 plus 8 equals 9 times 8 equals 72 divided by 9 equals 8 divided by 72 is 1111111111111. Activate now. Center sun, solar frequency 126.22, 126.22, 1 plus 2 plus 6 equals 9, times 22 equals 198, 198 minus 126 equals 72, divided by 9 equals 8, divided by 72 equals 0.1111111111111. Activate and spin 7-point star lunar frequency 210.42 over center sun and activate in integration with 126.22 frequency now. Spin center sun, bring in eclipse by narrow beats and prepare for crossing over. 63 hertz, 80 hertz, 100 hertz, 125 hertz, 160 hertz, 200 hertz, 250 hertz, 315 hertz, 400 hertz, 500 hertz, 630 hertz, 800 hertz, 1 kilohertz, 1.25 kilohertz, 1.6 kilohertz, 2 kilohertz, 2.5 kilohertz, 3.15 kilohertz, 4 kilohertz, 5 kilohertz, 6.3 kilohertz, 8 kilohertz, 10 kilohertz. Release all 210.42 activations and energies. Eclipse of the solar center sun, 122.22 now. Vibrate the earth, the water, and all elements in the centers of our hearts and universes with eclipse of solar center sun, 126.22 now. Cross point. Point 1, 210.42 to 0.192 hertz across center sun, 295 minus 5 equals 290 divided by 7 equals 41.4285 length, 0.434 0.901. Cross point. Point 1, 210.42 to 0.288 hertz across center sun, 141 minus 3 equals 138 divided by 7 equals 19.714 length, 0.782 minus 0.623. Cross point. Point 1, 210.42 to 0.228 hertz across center sun, 347 minus 1 minus 346 divided by 7 equals 49.428 length, 0.975-0.223. Cross point. Point 1, 210.42 to 0.396 hertz across center sun, 192 minus 6 minus 186 divided by 7 equals 26.571 length, 0.975-0.223. Cross point. Point 1, 210.42 to 0.303 hertz across center sun, 38 minus 4 equals 34 divided by 7 equals 4.8571 length, 0.782-0.623, 0.901. Cross point. Point 1, 210.42 to 0.1 across center sun now. Activate transmission of download. 210.42 plus 126.22 equals 336.64 times 5 equals 66.928 times 12 equals 803.136 divided by 13 equals 61.7796923.076. Open the gates of integrity, open the temple of language, open the temple of humanity, the temple of our hearts, the temple of Emmanuel, and bring in now the harvest of our seasons, of our soul now. Activation 210.42, lunar eclipse over sun, 126.22 now. Complete. I add this from Servants of Peace by Sanatan Kaur. Lord, make us an instrument of thy peace. Where there is hatred, let us sow love. Where there is injury, pardon. Where there is doubt, faith. Where there is despair, hope. Where there is darkness, light. Where there is sadness, joy. O Divine Master, grant that we may not so much seek to be consoled as to console, to be understood as to understand, to be loved as to love, for it is in giving that we receive. It is in pardoning that we are pardoned. It is in dying that we are born into eternal life.
Amen.
How much time do we have?
6:25.
So we have a few minutes then?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So,
You
would
have till
anybody
7.
be up for a personal demo
Sure.
of what an 8 activation looks like individually? Let's get somebody who hasn't received one before to say, have all of you received my activations? I'll take you.
powerful enough.
Hey!
You are right. It was a treat.
Very cool.
Yeah, they're very fascinating. Well, they're also very individually empowering, so since we have a little time, let's do a demo and I can show you what they look like. These activations were amazing. I mean, even the gal next to me, her brown eyes went totally green. I tell her you better look in the mirror. You look a little different. All right, there, darling. Come here. I'm going to, your eyes already got some rims on them. All right, I'm going to have you turn kind of like, actually I want you to turn this way. That way. And then we'll kind of work a little better this way. Okay, so I'm actually going to do what they call innate activation, that is an individual. And this is what I do also, and this is what I'm doing at my booth. When you see people wobbling all over, I do use matrix energetics as my modality. But these frequencies work with any kind of modality, whether you do Reiki, or you do shamanism, or you do reconnection, or you do touch, they still work with the modality. You know, the modality works with any frequency. You cannot own a frequency. You can't own the 432. You can't own the 528. Frequency moves, and it will come through anyone who accesses it. So know that they work with all and any modalities. So that's kind of the great part about it. So we each can individually bring in this kind of healing on our own individual way. We don't have to emulate just one person or one teacher. You get the formula from the teacher, but you become the teacher. You become the processor, because you will always bring in these activations your own special way. And that's what makes them so great. So there's no copyright on a process when it totally transmutes through any person personally in their own individual style. So you really can't put a copyright on that. But what I'm going to do, what is your name?
Mirela.
That's pretty. What is it again?
Mirela. 3 musical notes. Wow.
Wow. How beautiful.
Musical notes.
That is just gorgeous. That in itself sounds like an activation. Okay, we're going to do some interesting things for her. Now, I'm actually going to demonstrate a 0-point removal rate for her. And what we're going to do is we're going to go back infinite number of generations, mother and father's side, back into the ancestry, and we're going to remove some things. So when I'm looking at her and I pick up some things, and I'm going to see what I see around her. I see there's probably some health issues that she may have, maybe in her family, that we can remove. Is there cancer in your family at all? Okay, all right, I was picking that up. So I'm actually going to go after that. I'm also picking up, you've had some similar patterns and some relationship issues have happened for you as well. So we're going to go, we're just going to call it narcissistic consciousness, because narcissistic consciousness in itself is an illusion. It's not real. And of course, many churches that encompass a narcissistic God, it doesn't mean you can't find the real God in a church. You can certainly connect through your heart to God anywhere you're at. But when you have a God of favorites and a God only lets certain people into heaven, and there's conditions and you can only believe a certain way, then I do have to question that all-knowing God of I am love. I really don't think that that is correctly the I am God of love. So I am going to go back in what I call narcissism consciousness in itself, and we're just going to take it out. Christine, she might fall backwards. Could I get you to help hold her?
Sure.
All right. All right. All right, here we go. And this is using the 8 and 9s, going back into the 8. So 8 divided by 9 equals 0.888, divided by 9 equals 987654320. Going into 0-point frequency, and we are going back infinite number of generations, mother and father's side, and we are neutralizing all narcissistic consciousness attached to relationships. Now, there we go. And you don't have to fight me, we got somebody behind you. And we are removing, going back, infinite number of the mother's side. or I see that there's been power struggles in the relationship side. So we are neutralizing that now. And we're dividing that by 8 equals 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, divided by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 equals 0.11111111111. There we go. 8 divided by 9 equals 0.8888888 divided by 9 equals 987654320. Going into 0 point frequency, we're going back infinite number of generations, mother and father's line, and we were removing all narcissistic consciousness attached to Cancer now. I'm going to cut some cords that you don't need. There we go. Oh, that's much better. Divided by 8 equals 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9. Divided by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 equals 0.1111111111111. I'm going to follow this with a purification generator for purification of energy rate, 0.333 to the power of 9 equals 2997, plus 2331 minus 4848 equals 480 to the power of 9 equals 43204 plus 3 plus 2 plus 0 equals 9 to the power of 9 equals 81. Times 6 equals 46 plus 684 equals 1170 plus 2331 equals 3501 to the power of 9 equals 31509. 3 plus 1 plus 5 plus 0 plus 9 equals 18. 1 plus 8 equals 9 to the power of 9 equals 81 plus 18 equals 99 divided by 11 equals 9. Minus 3 equals 6 minus 3 equals 3. Divided by 3 equals 111111111 there. That's why we have catchers. There we go. How do you feel in there? Do you feel any lighter?
I feel more centered.
Good. Good. Yeah. I'm going to see if there's anything specific they'd like me to give her. Alrighty. Now I do personal attunements as well. And I'm going to go ahead and give her a 33. I'm actually up to the 100. So if you want to glow in the dark, you come see me. It's really handy at night. But we're just going to go ahead and give her the 33. Could you state your full name?
Mirela Bagria.
33. 1 divided by 9 equals 0.1111111. 8 divided by 9 equals 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9. 33 plus 11 equals 44. 4 plus 4 equals 8 times 1 equals 72. Divided by 3 equals 24. 2 plus 4 equals 6 times 12 equals 72. Minus 6 equals 66. 6 plus 6 equals 12 times 3 equals 36. Minus 3 equals 33. 3 plus 3 equals 6 times 6 equals 36. Plus 3 equals 39. 3 plus 9 equals 12 times 6 equals 72. 72 divided by 2 equals 36. Minus 3 equals 33. 3 times 3 equals 9 times 9 equals 81. 8 plus 1 equals 9 times 8 equals 72. Plus 8 equals 80. Plus 8 equals 88. 8 times 8 equals 64. 6 plus 4 equals 10. 1 plus 0 equals 111111111. 44 divided by 2 equals 22, plus 11 equals 33. 3 times 3 equals 9 times 8 equals 72. Sum plus 2 equals 9 times 8 equals 72. Divided by 9 equals 8. Divided by 72 equals 11111111111111111. Now we're putting the 8 back in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33 to the power of 3 now. Integrate and activate 33. I am present now. There we go. So she will glow in the dark. Now your face changed. Yeah, you look different. Feel different. Hey, do you know that aging is programmed? We don't have to age the way they tell us to. Now, here's the thing. And when you change your DNA, it also changes the way you age. It actually slows it down. I've actually had clients where lines come off their face. I probably put some of the cosmetic people out. But, you know, it's amazing how I have just seen amazing changes in people's lives. So understand now that now you are in what I would call divine manifestation daily. Whereas you're no longer hooked in some of those old patterns in your ancestors that you have to keep repeating. And the activations we made today, the moon activations, the lunar activations that we did tonight, they did change your DNA. They did change your sacral chakra. Permanently. So, I think we're doing good.
You are? Sure.
Thank you
so much.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, on time.
6:37.
So, we can do another.
You still got like 20 minutes.
Okay. All right. Have you seen me before? Your eyes are really blue. You guys all got to get in the mirrors when you're done. You know, I've actually done meetups where everybody crowded in the mirror afterwards, that they're all in the bathroom going, wow.
I have to look at ours beforehand, so.
What do you think?
Yeah, they're well,
Bluer.
they're more bolder now, yeah.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
get,
like
they get
hers.
more, what I call it, sometimes they get more iridescent, sometimes they get more brilliant. I actually had people walk out with turquoise eyes once. Brown-eyed people like myself, we get blue rims around our eyes. So what
Yeah,
you
she
told-
got rims.
Yeah, so she's got blue rims.
I don't know if they were blue, but it was definitely like darker rims. 'Cause they
Yeah.
weren't there
If
before.
you go in the light, they're blue.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting, and that is permanent, so just let them know you got zapped in here, okay? That's why your eyes changed. All right, and what is your name?
My name is Michelle.
Okay. All right, Michelle, we're gonna look at, I'm gonna do something with you. I'm gonna give you the Mary Magdalene Feminine 153 Attunement, and that's a very pretty attunement. And I'm going to first go into the zero rate though, and we're going to look at some things. I get this feeling that your life is not moving the way you'd like it to, that you're not where you want to be. So let's see if we can remove any blocks that may be in the way of that. We could definitely use a neutralization rate for doing that. And we can go back an infinite number of generations to take out blocks that might be in generations that get us now. A lot of that can be our abundance. You know, a lot of that can be relationships, a lot of that can be health. So let's get those blocks taken out where you feel like you keep getting derailed. That's what I keep getting. So how about we remove that and you just get some clear road to success. Would you like that?
Sounds wonderful.
Okay. All right, 8 divided by 9 equals 0.8888888 divided by 9 equals 987654320. Going into 0 point frequency for Michelle. And we are neutralizing all and any blocks to monies, to abundance, to fulfilling relationships, infinite number of generations, mother and father's side. We're removing any blocks to higher consciousness. Now, also going back infinite number of generations, mother and father's side. And neutralizing any and all blocks to higher consciousness. Now, we're bringing in validation. Now, divided by 8 equals 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9. Divided by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 equals 0.111111111111111. Bring in the purification of energy, right? And we're going to let her know that she is very worthy and deserving of success, okay? And we'll bring in the purification of energy right here. And I could run this, I don't always have to call out the numbers, but I'm going to do something else for her. And we will bring in the Mary Magdalene, but I am going to do a heart rate. It's the 136.1. And that is a true actual frequency and activation of a heart rate. They call this the 136.1. You could actually play a solfeggio tone. And it repairs the soul connection to heart, 88. 88. 8 plus 8 plus 0.1 equals 16. 1 times 8 equals 128.8. 1 plus 2 equals 3 times 8 equals 24. Plus 8 equals 32 times 9 equals 288. 2 plus 8 equals 10. 1 plus 0 equals 1. Plus 8 equals 9 times 2 equals 18. Plus 1 equals 19. Minus 1 equals 18. Plus 0.1 equals 18.1. 17 times 8 equals 136, plus 1 equals 136.1, divided by 12 equals 11.34666 times 12 equals 11.34666 times 12 equals 136.0999. Minus 0.88 equals 136.0199 times 17 equals 2312.3383. 2 plus 3 plus 1 plus 2 equals 8. 3 plus 3 plus 8 plus 3 equals 17 times 8 equals 136 plus 0.1 equals 136.111. Remove Time Lord programming of indifference to God. Connect God's soul to God heart, integrating 136.1 now. There we go. Does that feel a lot better?
Yeah, I felt a shift.
Yeah, okay. There we go. She looks a lot better. She's got this big heart, see? All right. And let's bring in the Mary Magdalene. I might have to wipe these off, however. Let's see. Thank you.
I had been having arm pain and
Oh, really?
palpitations, and I have had issues with my relationship with my heart. Not physical that I know of, but it's been energy, and I felt that
Shift out.
shift. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Because at one point when I was reading, they stopped me and they had me go back over a rate, so I think they were doing something. That's what I felt.
Wow. That's why I was like, wow, I can't believe you're doing that.
You know, it drives me crazy when they stop. Go over, back over that rate. Yeah.
Wow.
Because you just have to stop in midair and make sure you got your rightful place in there. You want to give her the 44?
No, 44 times.
Oh. Well, I like the 44 number. Okay, so we got just a few more minutes. Let's see. I think I'll give her the Mary Magdalene. And we do have the Mary Magdalene right over here. You can see all these pieces of paper going all over the places. It's really interesting when you start typing these up. Boy, your eyes look like saucers. You're like, by the time I'm done, I'm like, okay, I can see this. It's just amazing. I usually have to have somebody read over it just to make sure I haven't typoed. But, and then, of course, they get zapped trying to edit what I typed. So I'm like, can you read it? They're like, no, I'm off in some altar. All right, Mary Magdalene, 153, Attunement. The Mary Magdalene numbers are 153, by the way. So here we go. 1 divided by 9 equals 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1 divided by 9 equals 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 153. 1 plus 5 plus 3 equals 9 times 8 equals 72. Minus 17 equals 55. 5 plus 5 equals 10. Plus 8 equals 18. 1 plus 8 equals 9 times 17 equals 153. Plus 351 equals 504. Plus 405 equals 909. Plus 909 equals 1818. Plus 8181 equals 9999. Divided by 9 equals 1111. 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 equals 4. Plus 4 equals 8. Integrate and activate 153. 8. Divine Magdalene. Feminine Attunement. Now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7 plus 8 plus 9 equals 45. 4 plus 5 equals 9 times 8 equals 72. Divided by 9 equals 8. Divided by 72 equals 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. There we go. Great. Activate. I'll just use her little thing there as an antenna. How's that? So how you doing?
Good.
Your eyes are like ultra blue now.
I feel really happy.
Do you? That's fantastic.
Thank you.
Maybe we could have a couple questions.
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking, definitely. You read my mind or I read yours.
Okay, so
Okay. go.
my question is, I have listened to one of your recordings, and in it you did something similar. So you did an activation at the beginning, and then the tail end you did some one-on-one work. And now it was interesting because you did the work on the person, but then I started feeling like stuff was shifting. And so I was curious if you have the same kind of issues in your DNA, or because it was an actual DNA ancestry soul group kind of thing, or if you have a similar type thing and you're hearing them, does it clear, like, did it clear mine too?
Yep.
Because I felt a huge shift. I was like,
Yeah, actually
but it's
it
not
does.
me.
I mean, even though, we share each other's greatness, we share each other's connection. And many of us have the same issues that go back into ancestors, intergenerations, and I'll tell you, their health, relationships, monies, I mean, we're very similar. So many of the issues when I'm working on somebody, others will shift right out. And they will get the activations. A lot of times the catchers get them. I've had the catchers fall before the other person does.
that's helpful.
And we have to like play triple catcher. Yeah, it has happened. Where catch them, okay, they're out. So yes, you bet. You can pick it up. In fact, anyone who had any of these issues in this room that listened to me had it cleared. So isn't that fun? Yeah. Well, and then, and because everybody's connected in this room, and I'll tell you, you're attracted to these activations, you've probably got a lot higher consciousness than you think you do. Because if you could understand, you're even attracted to these activations, even if you're not sure what I'm doing, you're resonating to them. That's why you came in here, to check them out, to get the lunar activations, to see them done individually, because there was something inside of you that knew a change was going to occur. So I find it an amazing, it's probably one of the greatest gifts I could have. But I'm also a medium, I can bring in, crossovers. But here's something very interesting that you might want to know. The ancestors will show up in spirit to get the healings too. It's not just us getting affected. Because when we leave this planet, we can often leave with imprints still for the personality that go into our lives. And it can follow us, and then they could come right back into a new life with the imprint still intact, and then they could give it even more consciousness and have even more going on. That's why you see a lot of groups reincarnating in together constantly, and they seem to be going through the same type of attitudes they had in other lives and come up with the same camaraderie, because that kind of imprinting keeps them bonded. But really, we don't need to be on that karmic wheel that way. How many times are we going to get into, I kill you, okay, then you can kill me, and then you can kill me again, then maybe I'll kill you twice. I mean, this is ridiculous. We need to neutralize out these consciousness that no longer work for us, and we shouldn't be entrapped because the illusion can follow us. So what happens is, I can bring in, I'll have somebody up that I'm doing an activation on, and here comes granddad and grandmother and about 1,000 ancestors sitting there. It can be real interesting to look at. They're all here, but they actually get the imprint removed off of them. They actually come in for the healing and the clearing too. So it's not uncommon that I'm like, did your grandmother, grandfather, and 50,000 people pass, prior to you. They will come in. We've taken off curses the same way. A curse can go through generations, think they won't. Ever notice that people keep dying at the same age? That kind of thing. That's often a curse. You could go back and neutralize that so that doesn't have to keep happening, where sons keep, dying at early ages, this type of thing. We cleared that off a gal that 56 of her ancestors showed up because the men in her family were dying early, basically. Freak deaths, some of them, getting run over by tractors with no driver, strange things. And 56 ancestors showed up. We took it off the men of her ancestors, and we got back to the original curse and we cleared it, God forgiveness. And I guarantee you it saved her brothers and it saved her sons. So this is very, very powerful stuff. I think we got time for one more question, and I think the lunar eclipse, because the solar and the lunar eclipse occurred so close within each other, like within a week, that was pretty unusual. And they brought in huge transformational changes to a lot of people. So I was utilizing the eclipse energies to bring in an activation to change our DNA. So I was literally harnessing those energies. That's why I created an eclipse of the energies over a 7-pine star going over the sun. And they were, literally doing one of these kind of thing. And when you've got that going on, we literally imitated an eclipse. And we brought the lunar frequencies over the center sun, so it was like an eclipse. It's like the sun and the moon were eclipsing each other. And I was able to also, those binaural beats I called out, those were real recordings. They actually got the beats off a real recording of an eclipse. All those hertzes I called out, those were real. And the wavelengths of the lengths that I called out were actually quantum physics. They're scientific. They were right on. So I like to combine true mathematical formula with the activations because it makes it much more powerful. The activations themselves are mathematical gematria formulas, and they work wonderfully. And we are frequency. We are vibration. Everything has a longitude and latitude of vibration. But if you change the language, you change the communication. So now we're all resonating differently, which means we bring in different things into our lives. Not just the old patterns, not just the same old. And if something comes up in your face and it's like, whoa, I thought that was clear, that's probably a conscious template. Maybe a judgment you made as a kid, might be a past life. But now, if you have divine manifestation daily, you can clear it. Instead of snapping back like a rubber band to a pattern that has mass consciousness that goes back, hundreds of, years of ancestry. Now it's yours. Your free will is now yours to claim. And you can manifest daily with that. And we're free of the illusion that we have to do it only according to how we're programmed. We don't have to be programmed, folks. We can create ourselves any way we want. We have free will. We are all part of the I am God presence. And the ability to create through that presence is infinite. And so the greatest thing about this is now you've got that chance. So create away. So glad to see all of you. Thank you.
Thank you.